they don't. And in India,
No,
the problem is even the spinners, when the ball gets so roughed up, you don't see the seam so clearly. So
no,
it's
no,
hard.
no.
Even in the nets when we bat, we often try and practice that, to try and see the fingers of the off spinner, the wrist of the leg spinner. But it's so tough. It's tough. It's not easy. Yes,
No.
in the textbook, it says that you have to always watch the bowler's hand, but it's not so easy, man. Especially guys like Rashid Khan and all. I mean, it's so fast. His action
Too
is so
fast.
quick. You can't even watch what he's trying to do.
You've almost got to like. It's hard to describe to people. Like if you're playing 2020 cricket white ball, you think okay, it's probably going to slide on in the first six. But
Yeah,
with a finger spinner who can actually turn it both ways, you can only play on line. So like if you're surviving, you're trying to get off strike. If you're not, and you're I don't know. I remember I think it was Livingston started slog sweeping Rashid in Jaipur, and he got a
yeah,
hold of him. And normally I wouldn't bowl Rash in the first six, but we had to because we were under the pump. So you go to one of your best bowlers. So what do you try and get a wicket, but people don't realise if you put pressure on bowlers,
yeah.
especially in the first six, you can get the upper hand. But after that, phew, it's
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's difficult. Once the ball gets older and it turns, where it does
yeah,
turn majority of places, except if you're batting second in Mumbai,
yeah, yeah.
it
It's
can
with
be
the dew and
it's
all.
challenging.
Yeah, with once the ball
How do
gets wet and
That's one like what's your mindset there? Like every single team batting second, you go to Mumbai 8 o'clock game, you win the toss, you bowl first.
yeah.
So what do you think as a captain in your mindset? How do you like say to the guys, or you probably don't need to say to the guys, we've lost the toss. We're obviously
Yeah.
we're going to be bowling second now. We have to bat well. 200 is obviously the total that you need to get. How do you what goes through your mind when you're applying your sort of your trade when you're out there?
I mean, yeah, the first thing, especially at Mumbai, you know, everyone's watching me at the toss. So when I'm tossing the coin, oh sorry, I don't toss the coin. The opposition captain toss the coin. So when I'm at the in the center for the toss, I could see from my peripheral vision that okay, there are guys all over me. They're watching me. What is happening with the toss? Because the toss is so crucial, and when I lose the toss, they seriously like they feel that he's the worst guy in the world. They don't look at me. They don't talk to me for a second when I come back. But then yeah, that's when my job comes in. I get everyone together and just like we starts much before that toss, before the
Yeah, yeah,
training session and things like that. I know it's important for the boys to know that toss is under no one's control. We can't control the toss. We have to play good cricket. And if you look at Mumbai's record, we have won a lot of games batting first
yep,
at Wankhede, and that's mainly because of the plans, the strategy that we put in place before the games,
yep,
and all the credit has to go to the coaching staff from whether it was Ponting, Bond, and all these guys. They put in a lot of effort. Now Mahela is working with us, so these guys have put in a lot of effort to make sure that we get our plans right. Once we
yep,
have the plans in place, you know and in spite of that, you lose a game. It happened to us when Chennai beat us last year. I think it was last year or year before last. Sorry, we got 160 and they were 50 for five or something. And Dwayne Bravo came in and just started hitting, and he got the game away very easily. And we had
yep.
guys like Bumrah and Mitch McClanahan bowling towards the end. So you couldn't expect like Bumrah will, give so many runs towards the end because he's done that pretty well. He's handled that situation pretty well in the end.
Yeah,
But that was his off day, and Bravo got him that day,
yeah.
and it's just one of those days. And so that's what I mean. What I'm trying to say here is like plans have been put in place, but there are days where everything will not go according to the plan. So you don't get frustrated. You just get everything together, come back the next
Yeah.
day, try focusing on that. Because at
Uh,
Wankhede, it's very easy to get uh, drifted away, because sometimes you will think, okay, we did everything right, but still we ended up on losing the game.
That's where like one place Boovy says he always likes bowling because the ball swings and nips around the first sort of 4 overs,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's always challenging.
Bowlers are in the game at Wankhede for sure. The first few overs, if you pitch it in the right areas, there are chances you might, knock the batsman early. And then after the 6 overs as well, the spinners come into game when the
Yeah,
ball is a little dry, because you get good bounce. Sometimes it does turn there with the new ball as well. So,
yeah,
it's even contest at Wankhede, I feel, but on days where it's like absolutely belter and flat, there's not much to do for the bowlers except to just stay quiet in one place and keep bowling what you do.
yeah, exactly. It's a bit like Hyderabad as well. Sometimes, like when you get on a
Yeah,
like, it's actually bizarre because I think maybe the same as Caddy, but we know at Hyderabad if you use one side of the square, it's going to be absolute belter, and then the other
yeah,
side of the square it might be 150, 160, and you have to work out how do you plan accordingly? Because usually we're giving away our tips here, but like on one wicket you go right, well it's better to bat first,
yeah,
and on the other side it's better to chase because
yeah,
a lot of runs are quite similar. Like I look at Kolkata, that's now one of the best batting wickets as well because
yeah,
it's not like a big turner like it used to be.
yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realise like we can't go out there and hit every ball for six. We're not
We
we're not we're
can't.
not Hardik or we're not Andre. We can't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
sometimes it's impossible. I think is that Budgie? Was that Budgie on there? Say something in Hindi.
yeah. Say something in Hindi.
Me?
Yeah,
Thoda
of
thoda.
course you. He's asking you.
I thought it was saying. Me is up kisse hai.
Okay, so that's good enough, man.
It's all the basics. I don't know too much in Hindi. We
But
all,
yeah, I mean, you're doing quite well on TikTok.
man, TikTok. That is
You're
my
really
daughter.
killing TikTok, man.
I'm gonna do one tomorrow. Me and my wife are gonna try another dance. Buta Bomba was one that we got told to do.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
s- I said I'll make a promise to the all the Indian fans. I'll try and do one a week. But man, some of these Tollywood and Bollywood dances they're so hard to
Yeah.
learn.
What was
Look at our
there was this,
commercials.
there was this Tollywood, the Telugu movie song you did, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Buta Bomba.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. Did you?
Come on, man. You have to research these things.
Jesus. I'm hardly keeping up with Bollywood right now. I don't know if I'll keep up with Tollywood.
Yeah,
But
well, there's so many different like things out there. Like I didn't know what TikTok was. Like my daughter downloaded something like they were playing games and something just came up and I was like, what is this stuff? And she's like, it's TikTok. So I
yeah, okay,
scrolled through. I remember last year one of the cricket. You got to watch this stuff. It's funny.
yeah,
So I went on it. I looked at it. I said, all right, let's just put some smiles on people's faces. Take the Mickey out of myself, which is
yeah,
quite easy to do. But yeah, like it's a little bit of fun. And look, I don't know how long it will last, but hopefully once this pandemic's over,
yeah,
I think the ICC World Cup maybe that's in sort of it's probably not going to go ahead. I think by the looks of what's happening here, I think getting
yeah,
everyone into one spot's going to be difficult. Um, but actually, that's what I was saying. I was reading today. It'll be to me. A lot of people talk to me about like what's our rivalry like, and I was like, it's when you walk on the field, it's completely different. When I walk
yeah,
on the field for Sunrisers, when you walk on the field for Mumbai, it doesn't matter if you've played with that person for X amount of years. You're playing for that team that you're in. So it's
yeah.
combat. It's combat mode. You're competitive.
Absolutely. Yeah,
It's passion. So
yeah,
it's one of those things. Like I love playing against India in India because everyone's against you, but it's the hardest conditions to play in for us. It's
yeah,
like when you guys come here, it's hard
yeah,
conditions for you because you're not used to it.
yeah,
So you've almost got this more motivation to succeed,
yeah.
but
Well,
it's
that's
very
why. I mean,
difficult.
I personally love playing against Australia. Whenever there's an opportunity to play against Australia. It's a different feeling. And last year when we were in Australia, uh, when we won the series, which has never happened before in the history of Indian cricket, it was good for us as a team. I know you guys were missing, but still, I mean, what the bowlers did there, what the batters did there for us was a great boost. And looking forward to this year's tour as well. I hope somehow, both the boards, Australian board and Indian board, they somehow try and manage to do something and get this series underway, because it'll be great for the teams as well, firstly, but also great for people to start cricket with. That'll be a great
Mm.
series for people to watch, and that's a great way. Will be a great way to kick off uh, the cricket in the world, if that happens. I don't know, IPL is likely to happen at some stage as well, but I have no idea about what uh, what date or what month it would be. Once everything settles down a little bit, probably will be a better idea for us to judge whether it is likely to happen or not. But I'm really looking forward to that Australian tour. Oh, I hope it really happens in Jan or Feb or whatever, whenever it is. I really hope that happens,
Yeah.
because we love coming to Australia. We love playing against you guys. It's great contest with you guys. We know once we go to Australia, once we land in Australia, nothing comes easy. Uh, Not just the runs or the wickets, but also when you are out, buying, out shopping or anything. Nothing comes easy there. So we love coming there, and it's one of my favorite places in the world, Australia. I love going to Australia.
The crazy thing is, when you guys come here, it's like we are playing an away game. Your
Yeah,
supporters are crazy. Like
Gee,
they come out,
I know,
and
I
we
know.
we absolutely love it. Like you get the Swami Army, you get the drums coming out. It's
Yeah,
one of the series I always look forward to, and that's one thing I like playing against England as well because of the Barmy Army. You've got
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
much external stuff. And people, it's not rude of me saying this, but when we're out playing a test match in the field, sometimes you're sitting out there going, all right, when's the day going to finish?
yeah, yeah,
Especially if you're having a tough day, but everything just gets you through the day. And when everyone's up and about and whatnot, it's fantastic and it's awesome. And actually, watching that series was quite challenging because you can't do anything, you can't help anyone. Your bowlers
yeah,
were on point, like they, obviously we had some left-handers in the team. Where your guys, I think, hands down, probably the best attack against left-handed batsmen in the world. Like
yeah. Just
they
take
they
the ball
they
across.
they, they zero in on one spot, and
Yeah,
very rarely do those three guys miss their spot.
yeah,
And it's a big credit to the way that you guys prepared as well. But mentally as well, like it was a great thing for obviously Indian cricket, as you said, but it was hard to watch. It was very, very hard to watch as an Australian cricket player because one, helpless. I couldn't do anything. Um, but I know the guys fought well, and obviously as we talk about rivalry,
yeah,
obviously I hope it does happen because we get another opportunity to go against each other, and I'm looking forward to that battle again when we come back over to India.
yeah,
Um, because they're the series that people don't realize. They're the ones that you like. Basically, you're not how do you say it? You're not meant to win those series when you go away to an opposition country. You're the
yeah,
underdog.
yeah,
You're prepared to put up a great battle, but
yeah.
when you do win those, it means so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that I wanted to ask you. It's I'm sure it must be really really hard for you to be away from the game during that phase. Um, but you made a great comeback after that. Since IPL, that was the first tournament you played after that, and
Yep.
if I remember, you had solid impact when you left for the World Cup preparation, and then the World Cup, and then obviously Ashes didn't go, but you got a higher score for Australian. No, not the highest. The second highest. Hayden,
I
how
think
many?
that's, yeah. Hayden highest.
329.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
At
So
the
I mean,
Wacker, he didn't.
yeah.
He didn't run much.
Yeah, I remember that. But anyway, I mean, it's been a great comeback for you. Mentally, it must be tough, challenging to get through that phase and then to come out and perform the way you have in IPL, World Cup, and thereafter. What sort of things you were doing? I heard. I mean, we heard that you were not allowed to even practice to go to training. So it was damn tough, man. It's just how
Yeah,
did you manage that period for you?
it was challenging. The first sort of, I'll say, 3 months, I didn't pick up a cricket bat. I just said, right, well, I'll just enjoy the time I have with the family.
Yeah,
Do what I can to sort of keep motivated. Having it taken away from you, out of your control, and as you said, not being able to practice. Um, it was a time for me to sit back and just enjoy family time.
yeah,
Um, I really enjoyed that, and as I am at the moment, we don't get breaks. We don't get to put our hand up and say, "I want a month off," because it's not possible. You
yeah,
know, we try to play all three forms as much as we can.
yeah,
Um, I saw that there was a tournament in Canada that was happening, so I thought it was a good opportunity to go there and play some decent cricket amongst some great players. A lot of the West Indian players were there.
yeah,
Steve came and played, so I had that there, and I had the Bangladesh Premier League as well
yeah,
to look forward to. But I think just spending the time at home and and working on like my fitness. I stayed on top of my fitness. I didn't pick up a good bat, and I think the longevity now has helped me. I think having the time off has furthered me probably 2 years maybe.
wow, that's great.
As you said before, like three daughters, you got people don't understand. We do have one of the best jobs in the world. We love playing cricket, but the
Yeah,
challenges we face are, leaving the family at home, the wife to look after the kids all the time. It's not fair, and for us, it's about leaving the game in the right way.
yeah,
For the next kid to come through and take our position and leave the legacy that they want for Australian cricket or Indian cricket, and we have all these other tournaments we can move on to. Once we're in international career, we can keep playing IPL. We can keep playing in the Big Bash here and whatever other leagues there are, because it's great to keep us in the game at this age moving forward, and it's
yeah,
great for the young guys to come through and move our international cricket on as well. So, but to sort of summarize, that was just more keeping on top of my fitness, spending time at home, and having that drive and passion to come back and say, look, I still belong here, and I deserve the opportunity again to come back to play for my country, because everyone makes mistakes at the end of the day, and
yeah, absolutely.
to come back and we always talk about, people like to knock people down, and it just has that ebb and flow kind of thing to it. But it's been good. That IPL was one of the things where I enjoyed, was coming back, not having to captain, and being under Kane, who's one of the nicest blokes in the world,
Yeah,
and seeing his knowledge about the game and how he reads the game.
yeah,
Um, it was good in that sense as well, because I got to just enjoy the game, which
yeah,
it sort of, people don't realize the pressures that actually come with performing in every single game that you play, whether it's for Australia, India, IPL franchises, or the hardest thing I find back playing is like domestic cricket, like same as you, Ranji Trophy, because there's
yeah,
more focus on you. You play for your country, where you should be dominating state cricket, which
yeah,
you should be, but sometimes you're not going to be able to.
yeah,
It's very difficult. Like, some of the guys you've never faced before, never seen before, you can get a good ball.
yeah. I mean,
You-
especially playing so much international cricket, you have to go back and play state cricket. It's kind of challenging for you to pick up and be motivated. It's not that
yeah,
easy because you're always used to playing under the high pressure situation with so many people watching you in the stands, and suddenly that being taken out, it's kind of challenging, and it's little you got to find motivation to go out there and play, which
Yeah,
is why you do you try and not get dropped from the squad. That's what happens. If
yeah,
in India, I don't know about Australia. Australia, like a lot of you guys still, while you're playing for the national team, you still go and play domestic cricket. But for us here, it's very tough to play domestic cricket because our domestic season and international calendars, they're together. So we really
yeah,
can't play domestic cricket unless you're dropped from the team. Only then
yeah,
you have chance to go back and play.
yeah.
Um, Speaking of this empty stands, you guys were the only team who experienced that against New Zealand. The first ODI you guys played, it was in empty stands. How did that feel? I think this is going to be the future of cricket, at least for a while.
The most bizarre thing was, as a batsman, when you play a shot or the bowler bowls the ball, you always look up to watch the replay. There was
Yeah,
no replays. There
yeah,
was
that's
nothing.
true. Yeah, yeah,
So you hit a shot and all you hear is the echo of the cricket ball, and
yes,
then you might hear one or two claps from the boys. But
yeah,
it was really bizarre. Like, we're so used to calling yes, no, and I was like, you don't need to say it that loud anymore. Like, it's like yes,
yeah,
mate. But
yeah,
it was really really bizarre. It was literally like we were playing a warm up game. Like, it was really surreal. It was it, it wasn't hard to get up and play it, but like it was more the fact that like you're like, how do you know what it's like at home watching the game? Like, it was really really bizarre. But it was a good game that we played against each other. But I don't know how long you can sort of sustain that, because you gain you gain momentum from home crowd advantage. You gain your momentum from, when you hit a nice shot, the clapping from the crowd, it gives you that motivation,
yeah,
and gives you the adrenaline. It is so bizarre. And like, now our rugby league is starting up again, and they're playing in front of no crowds as well. I watched a couple of games before on TV before it got shut down. It's just weird watching.
yeah.
It's really weird. So like, it's very hard. I don't know what it's going to be like if we come there and the IPL goes ahead at the end of the year. You got to be very, the government's doing this for the right reasons. Obviously,
Yeah.
lives are being lost. It's not like, they're not saying don't go outside because, they just don't want you to get infected. They don't want you to get it. They don't want you to spread it.
Yeah,
And like, here, a lot of the people have been listening, and there's a lot of people who haven't been listening.
yeah, it's the
So it's
same
challenging.
situation in India as well. And we've got so many people here. That's very hard, and it's very hard to control everybody. Like you saw what happened outside the liquor shop. Um,
I
but
saw
yeah,
police making people do push-ups in the street.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they are finding ways to scare people. Like like that is one of the things that they did. The other thing they did was chopped off someone's head with the razor. Went took him, made him absolutely bald. So they're doing different kind of like all this weird kind of stuff to make people scared. But eventually, it's our responsibility to make sure that just try and stay indoors. And the only way we can contain this is by doing that. There is no other
Yeah,
way
exactly.
until we find a cure or a medicine for this. We got to
Yeah,
stay indoors. I mean, that's really the only thing we
exactly. I got one question with Shika. Does he make you face the first ball?
He is an idiot. What can I say? He doesn't like it, man. He doesn't like to face the first ball.
He always says to me, the
Yeah,
only time he ever wanted to face the first ball was when Harbhajan was bowling.
yeah. He,
He
he
goes,
likes
he
to
goes,
take on the spinners, but he doesn't like to take on the fast bowlers. But
I
yeah,
was
I mean,
like, same as
I
Finchy.
remember.
Finchy always makes me face the first ball.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the same here. I remember. There was this. This was way back in the day when I started opening the batting for India in limited overs. It was my first game as an opener, second game as an opener. in Champions Trophy, and Shikhar, I asked Shikhar, okay, Shikhar, we're playing against South Africa, guys like Steyn, Morkel. I've never faced them with the new ball. Okay, so you got to take the strike, man. He's like, no, Rohit. I mean, you've been playing for a while. This is my first tour. I want to. I can't. I mean, you got to do it. I said, really? The guy who's a regular opener doesn't want to take the strike. He wants me to take the strike. And then I took the strike. The first few balls, Morkel bowled. Morkel was, Morkel was, he was bowling the new ball. The first three balls, I didn't see the first three balls, honestly, because I was not expecting the bounce. I was not ready for it. And I don't know how the new ball will do, especially in England. And if I remember, it was absolutely cold that day as well. But then that was my first experience with Shikhar. But now, we're comfortable, like, talking about, okay, if
Finchie always says to me, like, he says, if it's a left arm fast bowler, he wants me to face because he doesn't want the ball coming back into him. But the same thing for me. I don't want the ball swinging away from me. Because we're not used to it.
Yeah, I mean, especially now, in Mumbai Indians, I open with Quinton de Kock, and he's brilliant. He told me the first day, okay, here's the deal. We will do it alternate games. Okay, that's fair. I mean, alternate games. Okay, you take one game, I will take one game. That's fine. I mean, that's more than enough. But I mean, I'm used to it now. I take the first ball every time. So for me, right now, it doesn't make a difference. But imagine the first time I was opening the batting, and then this guy comes and says, "No, I can't take the strike." I mean, sometimes, he's very annoying as well. Like in the middle, I'm setting up the plan. Okay, this guy is bowling, and this is his plan. We have to try and do this. 5 seconds later, he goes, "Okay, what did you say?" I mean, imagine, you're under tremendous pressure. You're in the middle of the game, and then and says all these things where it kind of makes you frustrated. You don't know how to react to that.
One thing I always love batting when I was batting with Shikhar. Without fail, last ball, he's going to run a single.
Yeah. Yes,
without fail. First ball and last ball, he will run no matter what. Yeah. And it's always like a little dab to point.
Yeah. And he's got that weird thing where when he defends the ball, he takes that one or two steps.
He's going to run.
Yeah.
You think he's going to run?
For a non-striker, it's so confusing whether he's going to run or not. So now I've decided, over the years batting with him, I've decided I'm not going to run unless I see the ball, it's going in the gap. I have missed many runs also doing that. But I have no regret because, I was in trouble many a times because of that. I said, unless I see the ball going in between, I'm not.
You said that because I was like, when I was batting with him at Hyderabad, I was like, I hope someone can say the same thing. It's very hard to judge. Very hard to judge. Unless he hit an aerial, I wasn't running. I couldn't run.
Yeah, I think we've not ran out each other so many times.
It was very similar batting with GG. GG was the same.
Yeah, he
always look to run the third man, or he'll run. Sometimes, you know what it is? If they hit a good shot out of the middle, they'll run.
Yeah. But I mean, I enjoy batting with him. The only reason is like he's so elegant on the offside, and he likes to take on the bowlers with the new ball, and that allows me to take time because naturally I'm not an opener. So for me to find boundaries in the first 10 overs is not easy, which is why at times you see I like to go aerial and play those cross-batted shot, which has gotten me into trouble many a times. But Shikhar, on the other hand, he's so good with his hands on the offside, and he if you look at the average boundaries that he hits, it's in the first 10 overs.
Yeah.
When the fielders are in, and he likes to do that. And I'm the opposite. I like once the field is spread, and I can take single. It makes my job easier as well when I'm batting with him. So in a way, he's a little irritating, but at the same time, he's done my job also. So I'm happy.
No, exactly. And that's one thing I liked about with him is he can relieve pressure in the matter
Yeah.
of 2 or 3 balls, always, because he's always looking to score.
Yeah, yeah. That's his mindset. With you've been with Sunriser for a lot of years now. How it has been now? You've been appointed as a captain again. How's the franchisee? How's the owners? Do they put too much pressure of winning games? And is it like the same? Uh, with us, like with us, there is pressure for sure.
Yeah,
But that pressure, I think, as of now, I mean, we've started enjoying that pressure, and we know how
yeah,
to handle that. Is it the
yeah,
same for you guys as well? There.
yeah. I think early days. I think the hardest thing as I think a franchise owner successful in their right in what they do. They're very successful.
Yeah.
Um, for them to understand how a cricketer goes about their business, about their training. Some days, we're going to be waking up sore. How do you like transfer the training onto the field every game? It's not possible to win every game. You
Yeah.
might, but they've gotten so much better over the years I've been there. Like the last 3 or 4 years, minus the year that I was out, they've been wonderful. Like they understand exactly how we go about our business. Um, you always have the questions of, why, what went wrong. You always have your debriefs,
Yeah.
and like at the end of the day, they're a great family. They're a very well respected family. I can't speak highly enough of, the chairman and his wife and his daughter. Like
Yeah.
they always make us feel welcome, and I think that's the best thing about when you go to a successful franchise is that you feel like you're part of the furniture, like you're a
Yeah.
family. You
Yeah.
know, I know when I was at Delhi, I really enjoyed. Kieran was the owner from GMR.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful guy, really
Yeah.
wonderful guy.
Yeah.
But sometimes in the back part of the business, you get a couple of people who might ruffle the feathers a little bit
Yeah.
and cause some like animosity between players, and you can only play 4 overseas. So the hardest thing is if you've got a couple of overseas who believe that when you got a team who's been picked, you should be